Hello, welcome to Help For Me and You. This is going to be a group video, which with two people. Yeah, we're going to discuss about death, things about death, not in a dark way, but yeah, just a nice discussion about death. Yeah. So, what do you have to say?
I feel like death, there's a lot of fear around death, but death's more a thing that is in life that we have to overcome. Like, personally, I'm not afraid of death. I mean, like, I have a fear of how I will die, but death in itself, I'm not afraid. I just think the fact that so many people are afraid of this thing that's inevitably going to happen to us is kind of, not stupid, but irrational. Like, we shouldn't be afraid to try things that people tell us not to try, just because there's a small chance of dying when, well, we're gonna die anyway. So
yeah, that's really true. That's really true, actually, because I always thought that death is kind of actually it's kind of a beautiful thing. It's just as beautiful as life itself, and it's just a great thing. And we don't know what's going to happen, and we're not religious or anything. We don't know if there's going to be a heaven or not. We personally don't agree with that, But just the fact that, just ending your life and spreading, giving a space to somebody else to get to live, yeah. And that's an amazing thing. I always think that's an amazing thing. It's not something they should be afraid of, really, to be honest, because fear is a really bad thing, and it can really hold you back, and people will think too much in the future, too far ahead or too far in the past, and they can't enjoy the present. They can't understand anything when they're afraid. They're so longing not to die, and if you just accept the fact that you're going to die, then you can live so much more. And you only live once, right? You only live once. There's no point.
Like, I'm more afraid of getting old than I am of dying and not experiencing my life. Like, I have a great fear of dying without fulfillment, and dying and being alone. That's my main fear about death. I'm not scared of death. I would rather die young and have a good life than die old and lead a plain life. If you understand what I'm saying,
No, to be honest, that's true. But it's like you don't have to be afraid of being alone, because it's that fear of being alone. It's like you're scared of things that you shouldn't be scared of. You should be happy the fact that you have yourself. It's a privilege to have yourself and to know that you've got this life. It's a creditable thing. It's amazing.
Yeah, but why not share that life with someone else? Like, you may want to be alone, but there's always going to be a deep yearning to have another human companion. You will never be satisfied with your own person. So there is always a deep human urge to find someone, maybe just to pass on genes and make children or offspring, but there's also a sense in the psyche of just wanting someone you can communicate with. It may be a friend, it may be anything, but you need someone. You can't just be happy with yourself. You can't just be comfortable with yourself, no matter how attuned you are.
That's really true, actually. We are social creatures, and that is part of our evolution. It's to be, and the reason why we can communicate, why we can talk. That's the whole point of it. But do you believe that we should all love ourselves? You should love yourself.
Yeah, you should love yourself. You should love yourself. All I'm saying is it better to just love yourself or to love yourself in another?
Well, I think that if you love yourself, then you are more open. You're more open to other people. You're more open to be social. And that way, you can have a much more rewarding life if you know that you've got yourself to fall back on. And it may sound weird, but it is really true. It is really true. And I'm really sure that most people out there are afraid of death. They are afraid of themselves. But really, you shouldn't be afraid of yourself, and you shouldn't be afraid of dying, because you only live once, really, that we know of. And you should just fulfill the best of your own ability. Going on to the other video that we had before was about hope. And that's the same thing. You need to have that hope to drive you. And no one else is going to give you hope. It's all about yourself. Everyone has it, and you've got to give it to yourself. You've got to push yourself to do it.
What about, you can't say no one else will give you hope, because there are people that give you hope. There are people that inspire you to be greater than what you are, and that is in a way hope. And I agree with you totally on your last video. Hope is the most important feeling because it's what drives us, it pushes us forward, it makes us not give up. But true, you give yourself hope, you give yourself inspiration, but so do many other like outside stimulus and people.
Well, I do agree with that, but what I mean is the actual feeling of hope. It's something that you have. No one can take that away. People can inspire you and give it, that's for sure, but in the end of the day, some people can't even take it from anybody else because they're too afraid. And that's what I'm trying to say. They're too afraid of themselves, too afraid of other people, afraid of dying and all that. Yeah. And really, you have to feel it inside, your hope inside, no matter what. And even if you can't get it from anybody else, as I said, you should be able to get it from yourself. You should get it from yourself, and you should focus on trying to get it from yourself first. Really?
Yeah, I agree. And this topic's more gone on to fear than most, but I agree. You do need to get it from yourself. It's very important to be comfortable and to love yourself, because as you said before, you'll be a lot open, you'll be a lot more confident, and you'll be a lot like braver to try new things. Sorry, I'm recovering from a cold. But like, I don't know how to say it. You can't go through life being alone.
No, that's true, but I mean, we're talking about fear because really that's the driving force of people's death and being afraid of death. But death itself, I mean, it's just about acceptance, There's no way you're going to escape it. Everyone's going to end up there. And I know we both agree that, in a way, religiously, people think that they have to prove themselves to someone that they don't even know that exists just to be able to have a good afterlife that we don't even know exists, And for some people that gives them hope, but really, what if there isn't? What are you going to do, You just basically, in a way, kind of wasted your life, but not really. I mean, to those people, they feel fulfilled, which is, as, we both think that's the way that humans are, and that's the way you've got to be.
As we both said, me and you are both atheists. We do not believe in, I'm personally, I'm more into the psychological route of humans, and I believe in dynamics or whatever. Psychology major. But I just going to this irrational fear of life, and as you said, death, and the afterlife. I think what they're coming from is, why should we do we want to risk it? What if there is? But then my point of view is, what if there isn't? Then you've gone through life not doing anything because of this hope of God, quotations, or afterlife, which if you believe is perfectly fine, but what if there isn't? What if you get up there and there's nothing, and you feel like your whole life's been a waste? And because virtually all you're doing is just leading up your life to that one moment, to that paradise. But what if it's not there?
Yeah, that's so true. That is so true. And going on to the hope thing, a great quote that I know that's probably one of my favorite quotes is, whenever you're in the darkness, there's always stars, which is so true. So that's why, in a way, you can also take that in death, because everyone thinks that it's a really dark thing, and it is dark in a way because you're separated from life, but, you're walking hand in hand into death, and there's always stars.
But then, negative-wise, I don't believe this, but just purely because I thought it would be a good quote, and I just came up with it on the spot. In light, there's always shadows.
Oh, yeah, that's a good contradiction there. That's good, yeah. I know. But I guess it's just how people take it. And the main thing that we want to say is, try to not be afraid. That fear is the worst thing that you could have. If you accept what's going to happen to you, like everybody else, then you should feel more at home with the species around you. And in a way, it's more beautiful to live that way, to be vulnerable and to be real, than to wonder and dream, even though that is a human thing. But there's a point where you don't need to. You just need to accept things, and then you can just fulfill yourself so much more.
As you said, I think it's easier to accept. You have to accept life and death, accept the stars, and accept the shadows. There are going to be dark points. There are going to be light points in life. You've just got to work out. Don't let the dark points bother you. Don't let the light points like run you. Just as you in the darkness look at the stars, and the light look at the shadows. Just
Yeah, I think that's really good. I think we'll just end it there. As always, please like and subscribe, leave a comment, and I've left my email in the description as usual. So if you want to get involved with this topic, please email us and me, and we can have another discussion. So thank you very much.
goodbye.
Goodbye.